So, the waiting is over, my friends. The official trailer for Halloween Ends is here. Even if it released early, no matter what you thought, it's here. It's finally here. The waiting game is over. Let us know what you thought of the trailer in the comments below. As always, we want to hear your thoughts. Now, in this video, I actually want to talk about an idea that I had about 3 or 4 days ago. My wife and I rewatched Halloween Kills, and it kind of got me thinking about something. What if in Halloween Ends, they embraced Michael Myers as the Shape? What if we didn't necessarily see him in the same ways that we had in the 2 previous films? What if we really cloaked him in darkness? What if he just moved as a shadow, as a silhouette, really embodying the Boogeyman, almost moving as just this soulless black spirit? Now, you have to take that with a grain of salt. I don't necessarily mean see a black spirit moving amongst, the streets of Haddonfield. But what if we threw a little bit of that in there with his character? Because I started thinking about Halloween 2018 and Halloween Kills, and I realized how much we actually see of Michael Myers in both of those films. We saw a little bit of his madness in Halloween Kills. It was never fully explored or fully explained, but we saw a little bit of that deranged psyche. I think to staring out Judith's window and the way that he playfully leaves his victims' bodies. Even the scene when he kills Laurie's neighbors down the street and the way he kind of almost experimentally is stabbing the guy in the kitchen. My point here is that we see Michael's work maybe more than any other Halloween film to date, including Rob Zombie's films, and that's saying something. Now, we obviously expect Halloween Ends to be different in a lot of ways, and I know a lot of those go into spoiler territory, so we can't completely talk about those, but nobody seems to be 100% sure how those ways how the film will be different, and I'm okay with that. I am 100% fine with leaving a lot of this kind of up to speculation. I'm for one really glad that the trailer didn't give a whole lot away. I'm definitely in the camp that I want to go into Halloween Ends not knowing as much as I did going into Halloween Kills, because I think that kind of just put a damper on the entire experience for me. But what if the Shape's presence in Halloween Ends could be expressed differently than it ever had been before? You got to think the people of Haddonfield would be haunted by what's happened. I mean, you got to think through something, when you've been through something traumatic, even if you weren't there yourself, they're telling stories about what happened at the hospital. The survivors of the mob, not that there were a ton of survivors from the payback scene at the conclusion of the film, but you have to think that this story is going to get tossed around, and between children, between older people, it's going to get thrown around a lot in the town of Haddonfield. Plus, if you've read the synopsis, this is not a spoiler, Laurie is writing a memoir in Halloween Ends, so the story of what's happened is going to get passed around a lot. And when something tragic happens, and when that tragic story is thrown around between a lot of different people, your mind is going to start to wander. You're going to start to see and hear strange things. You're constantly looking over your shoulder to see what's there. And I think that's a really interesting way to set up seeing Michael and experiencing Michael in a much different way than we have before. Now, I think you have a really unique opportunity here to make Michael appear supernatural, but not necessarily in a lot of the ways that some people would think. No growing back his fingers on his left hand, no zombie Michael, no ghost Michael, nothing like that. But just this haunting presence through storytelling, through the idea that everybody's looking over their shoulder. I think that could almost be scarier than physically seeing him on screen, playing around with what you see and what you don't see. Is he there? Is he not there? Because again, if he is nowhere to be found, he can be everywhere. It's what made the original ending to Halloween so scary, was the idea that when Loomis looks off the balcony, he's just gone. There is no explanation. There's no he's hiding behind that bush or he's there. He could be anywhere. He could be in your backyard. And I think that's a really interesting way to approach it. Will they do that in Halloween Ends? I don't know. I think, judging by this trailer, obviously, there is going to be a pretty brutal scene between him and Laurie, I would guess, in the last, like, third of the film, probably in that last act, which is going to be their big final hurrah. But I do think we'll see him in those moments. But I liked a lot of things about the trailer. I liked that it felt Halloween 78, Halloween 2, 81. I got those vibes from the weird, the stalking sequence when he's walking up the stairs, the lighting, a lot of things that were really, really well done in that trailer. So I'm very interested to see how Michael will be presented in Halloween Ends, because again, I think there's an opportunity to do it in a different way than you've ever done it before. And that's a really interesting thing. So, as always, I want to hear your thoughts. Please let me know how you would like to see Michael Myers presented in Halloween Ends. Do you want to actually see his madness? Do you want it explained? Do you want to see Michael doing the things that Michael does? Or do you want to feel his presence for a large amount of the movie? Do you just want the idea that Michael is there to stir up a lot of tension and a lot of fear within our characters and within the audience too, because I think that can translate in a really unique way as well. Comment below, let me know your thoughts. Let us know what you thought about the Halloween Ends trailer. Miguel and I just did our full reaction after we concluded episode number 15 of Purely and Simply Evil with Mike and Jay from We Watched the Movie. Huge thank you to them for joining on the show. We just got a little bit wonky there at the end because trailer dropped and we went our separate ways to go and do our thing with that. But go check that out. New episodes of Let's Talk Movies and Purely and Simply Evil premiere every single Tuesday and Saturday at 8 p.m. and 10 a.m. Eastern. We are on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at We Talk the Movies. We love you. Peace.